Well, hello people. I just got this new car. It's been a bit delayed, but what they say is better now than never, or something like that. It's a HoBao VTE 1/8 scale 4VD on-road GT car. So this is an electric 1/8 scale roller. It does not come with electronics. And you can get this both for nitro and for electric, but I have bought this electric roller because on the go-kart track that we have got permissions to drive remote transmission cars, also RC cars. We only have got permission to drive electric cars yet, not nitro yet. So I thought the best was to buy it electric, and I would say that this is a quite cheap and good buy, especially if you already got some electronics that can take 4S LiPo and is for 1/8 scale. You can of course also drive this car on 6S, but in racing competitions they are just using 4S for this 1/8 scale electric GT cars on road. So this will be used on asphalt, you know, so it's absolutely not a basher. It's not a car you jump with and that sort. I guess the ground clearance is about maybe 10 millimeters, so you don't have that very high ground clearance. And also why I think this is maybe a good buy is because HoBao, they built it's very good quality, I would say. I already heard some people talking about the diffs, that the diffs are very solid on the HoBao cars, and that was also something I did see myself when I bought the HoBao what is called VS2 nitro car, the buggy. When I opened the diffs, I saw it was it looked very solid, just the size of the pins, you know, and the gears and everything, compared to my Arma cars. The Arma cars are good, they also, and it looks at least as good, the HoBao diffs. And it's not some very advanced sort of diffs, it's usually the simple design. But also there are other good parts on this car as it comes stock. And the price is around and the price for this car is around 250 UK pounds, you know. That's about 3,000 Norwegian kroner, or about maybe around 300 US dollars. So if you have the electronics, you will get the 1/8 scale on-road car for quite a good price and a good quality also. But if you don't have the electronics, you usually have to buy also some electronics, and that could also cost you around, maybe 200 US dollars. So the total price will of course come higher than maybe up to 600-700 US dollars with everything you need. If you also have to buy servos, receivers, batteries and everything. So now I'm just gonna unbox this car. And what I like about HoBao also with this car, that this car is a roller, and it comes pre-assembled as a roller. And here you have the body, and also look here what I've done. It's pre-cut, even the holes for the body post, even holes here for the wing mount. So it's pre-cut. You only have to paint it and get on some stickers if you want, and use it. This body, you can also see it here on the box here. It's not my favorite body, GT body. I think it's a bit too much corners there and structures on it. It could be more simple, but that's why I did buy another body for this car. Let's see here. So I bought this Protoform Corvette. I'm not sure if you can see a good image of it here. So I'm going to use this body on this electric car, and I'm going to use this body here, HoBao body, on my nitro car, 1.8 buggy. So I'm going to transform my 1.8 buggy nitro to also on-road. I believe so. And then the plan is to use this body. But I'm not really sure if I'm going to do that, because some time ago, not long time ago, I bought, as I did show in another video here, I did bought this nitro car, and this is absolutely an on-road car. It's a 1/8 scale GP on-road car. Some call this car type, is it pan cars or something like that, but this is absolutely on-road car because it's got very small ground clearance. But I raised the ground clearance to about 10 millimeters on this car also. So now when I have this car, I have to think about it a bit. Maybe I'm just gonna keep this body as spare for this electric car, and with my HBI nitro buggy, as you can see here, I sort of transformed it to on-road already, but maybe I'm just gonna keep this as a buggy then, since I got this other nitro on-road car. But I have to think a bit about that. But again, I'm going to use this Corvette body on the HoBao electric car, and then maybe have this as a spare body. So let's see here what we got in this box. But very nice, again, when you buy this kit or roller, it's already assembled, as you can see here. I hope you can see. You got even here some tires and wheels, but you have to glue them yourself. But I'm probably not going to use these, because I already got some on-road GT 1/8 scale on-road wheels. But I can have them in spare. And here an instruction manual. Let's see what they're saying here on the front. Dear customer, due to this car is equipped with a new version of HoBao differential. If you like to purchase the differential spare parts, please refer to this D010 exploded drawing as the correct version, and then ignore the part number information regarding differential spare parts on the original manual. Thank you. So they upgraded the differential, okay. I'm not going to open this user manual now. Let's see. Here we have the roller car. And it looks very solid when I'm just looking at this car. It got some parts in aluminium, what it is. And it's completely flat, as I can see it. The chassis here, and what I like here, let me see, you have the hingping blocks here in the front. You have a hingping block in the front and in the rear front. In the rear you only have the hingping block in the rear, not in the front rear, or maybe it's called the rear front really. But and we have three differential. We have the here with the spur gear, center, and of course in the front and in the rear. And for what I heard, a lot of people that are setting up these cars are using very high silicone oil in the center, maybe 1 million, or they change to spool. And you can get a spool here from HoBao. You have to order 2 parts then, I believe. The spool itself, and you have to change, if I read right, both these axles, both the center front and the center rear, because the length change a bit. So they use either a spool or around 1 million silicone oil in the center, and in the front they're also using a very high silicone oil, maybe 500,000 or maybe even higher. But in the rear I've seen they're using 50 to maybe 100k silicone oil in the rear. So this is the car with nice shocks and parts. It looks solid. The links looks very solid. The arms look solid, quite thick and solid. One thing I'm not very fond of is this battery tray. That I think it's the same that's in my HoBao buggy, because it's not that very long. But you can, of course, remove this part if you want here to get a bit better space for a battery in. But you have to find, here you will mount the EC. And of course the motor will be here, and receiver and servo here. And you have a servo saver here, so you can tighten that up if you want to do that. So the roller is quite simple, and but I like it's pre-assembled. But I have to open all the diffs to check them and fill them up with the correct silicone oil. That's one thing I'm going to do later. And here you have the wing and some other parts. Yes, you have the motor mount there, and it comes with a 16-tooth pinion. And I believe I'm going to start using that 16-tooth pinion, because as you will see, the motor I have going to use is a 2500k HobbyWing motor. I got a 19-tooth pinion, but maybe that's on the limit what it could take and not getting too hot. So maybe I'm going to start with 16-tooth and see how the car behaves, the ESC and motor, that they are not getting too hot. So this is the roller. Let me just get it back. Yeah. And we can take a quick look at what the other stuff I got with the car is. So here we have the electronics I'm going to use. This is the HobbyWing ExRun combo. It's the Max 8 and 2500 kV G2 motor. Nothing special to look at, but I could open a box just to see here. I know a lot of people are using the 2200 or 2250 kV, and then I believe the 19-tooth pinion could be okay. But I decided to get this combination and see how it works. Here you can see one thing that is good about this combination ExRun Max 8 G2 and the engine is that HobbyWing says they are splash proof, or what you call it, waterproof. If you get the, I'm not sure what it's called really. I'm not a lot of the guys that are racing competition professionally or more serious, they are using the, what it's called, XR8 or something like that, ESC. But I'm not sure if those electronics are quite that waterproof that this combination is. And here where I'm living in Bergen in Norway, we have a lot of rain also in the summer, so I wanted some electronics that maybe can hold up, so I can drive also when it's wet on the track. So you just have to see how it is. It's a sensor system and it's using this new sensor plug. I also heard that some people are not that happy about this new G2. Especially some bashers say that maybe the old one was holding on better, not broke down. But I've not heard a lot of complaints, so I hope this is a good combination. So we'll see. This is the electronics, and I also got 2 batteries because in this class you're using 4S batteries, not 6S. So I bought this Centro. It's the it's the 4S 6800 milliamp batteries, 75C hard case. So this is the batteries. They look okay, and I believe they will fit into the battery tray. That's of course important. I will check that later. But as you can see, the batteries got the EC5 connection. But the ESC got what it's called again. It's got not EC5. It's got this other connection. Let's see if it stands there. No, I can't see it there, but I can show you. Is it called? It's called something with 90. Let's see here. Here. It's the XT90, yes. So that's also the ESC got 2 of these connections, XT90. So that's why I bought this loop, XT90 loop. So I used that, and I used this going from XT90 to EC5 male. So here we have the XT90 female, and now you have the EC5 male. So that way, with using these, I don't have to solder anything. So I will use these, and then I can use EC5 batteries. That's why I bought these 2. Of course, I could just do the solder work, but I will see if this is not good enough for me. And as I said, I'm going to use the Corvette protoform body. And here are the wheels I'm going to use. They are called GRP, and this is the GTH03-XM3 soft, but I think they are in the medium compound, or what they call it, GTH03-XM3. So this is 1/8 GT wheels, and these wheels are what they're going to use in the European League, or what they call it, GT 1/8 on-road league. And for this season, I believe this 2023 season. So they are godkjent. They are qualified. Indeed, these are the only wheels, if I'm right, you can use here in Europe, GT 1/8. And I said it, they are not hard and they are not very soft, they are some medium type. But I'm really not sure what they are using, if it's very wet, if they are still are using these. And also I don't remember if it's legal to use any tire addition, you know, like you are putting on the tires to make them even more soft. But I'm gonna start with this anyway. And then I got some spare parts that I ordered as I did order the car. Here we have some rear lower arms. This is front lower arms. This is front lower arm. This is C-hub. C-hub. This is the rear wheel hub. Front upper arm. Front upper arm. Steering knuckle set. Same. And then I got two of the front shock shaft. So these are parts that I know of experience, that sometimes if you hit into the side of the track or collide with another car, you can break front arm or rear arm or front upper arm, or shock shafts could also break. It says front shock shaft, but I believe this car using the same shock shaft both in the front and rear. So maybe that's why I ordered two of these. Also a servo horn, aluminium servo horn, 25 tooth, because I'm using a 25 tooth servo. I think it's PowerHo, the servo I'm going to use. It's not the fastest servo, but good enough stuff for me. And here we have the 19 tooth pinion. And maybe this is too big to use with this car with stock spur when using the 2500 kV motor. So I'm gonna start with the pinion that the car comes with, the 16 tooth. I did want, the pinion I did want to order was the 18 tooth, but they went out of stock. So this was the closest I could get, 19 tooth. So if the car and everything, the ESC and the motor and the battery are fine when driving on 16 tooth, I'm maybe going to test it with also the 19 tooth. I don't plan to have any fan on the U. I'm lying now. I have a fan mount, so I'm going to mount the fan on the motor. And then from AliExpress, and these are some parts that I also did order for my HoBao VS2 nitro car, the buggy. This is the front rear and the rear front hingpin blocks. But the car already has a good front rear hingpin block in aluminium, so I'm just going to use the rear front hingpin block. You can see them here. I don't remember which is which and all that. But I of course have to see that I'm not losing anything when using these, but I guess they are all right. And you have space here to fit in the pills inserts, or what they call it, so you can lower or get the hingpin a bit higher. And then I also ordered these. These are the rear hubs in aluminium, so I'm going to use these. And then of course you could say that I really didn't need the one in plastic, but it's always good to have something in spare. These I'm also using on my VS2 nitro buggy, and they have held on very good. I've not broken any of these. And also I did order, but I'm not completely sure if I can use these, but these are the this is just the chassis protection, and you use one in the front and one in the rear. So I'm gonna see. Of course they look to be around 2 millimeters thick, so they do stick out or under the car, you know. But I think it would be okay. I'm not going to use this car for very serious 1/8 scale GT racing, like doing something like national or European or worldwide competition. I'm just going to use this for hobby practice and maybe club racing if we start to do some club racing in this class. So the setup for this car will be all right. I will not set it up ultra low and spend a lot of time of getting the setup absolutely perfect. I just want a car that is good to drive and give me enough fun and excitement on the track and handle okay. Of course I want good corner speed and good steering and traction with the right tires. So that was really all for this video. So I'm gonna come back when this car is finished built. It's just to first I have to check the diffs and get in the right silicone oil. Here we have Hoodie 1 million silicone oil. And then I'm just gonna check the shocks that they are good, got the right oil. Then I'm gonna install the rear hubs and I'm gonna look at the hinking blocks, but it's only the rear front hinking block that maybe I need to upgrade because that is in plastic if I'm right. And then I'm also going to see if I can mount this chassis protection in front and rear. And of course I have to install the electronics, the motor, the EC. I see that the battery tray is big enough for the batteries I got. And then I have to paint the body and get it mounted on this car. And of course set up the car with the receiver and check everything. And then I'll also have to look over the general setup, like the toe out in the front and the toe in the rear, the camber in front and rear, and the ground clearance. I'm not sure how high or how low I'm gonna start with this car. And then I also have to check some more setups that the car are right. You know, when you lift up the car in the front or in the rear, you should see both the tires on both sides lift up at the same time. So we have to check that we have the right setup for that. So again, I come back when this car is, I guess when I finished with everything, and we can see how it went on. And because now it's soon February here in Norway, but we still got cold weather, and it's shifting from wet and windy to more cold and with some maybe snow or ice. So it's absolutely not the best time to drive outdoor, especially on the track, because these cars have very low ground clearance and it will be very slippery if it's too cold and icy. But if it's come one day or two that we have dry ground and the temperature is maybe 5 degrees or something, 5 degrees Celsius, I could maybe test this car outside. If not, I'm just have to wait, and that could be maybe to March or even April before I can test this car outdoor. So yeah, but I could maybe do just a test run also on asphalt here in where I'm living, or not that far away, before I'm going to the track. But again, I'll come back later. Maybe I can also do a speed test and see what speed we got on 4S with this 16-tooth pinion and 2500 kV motor. I guess and I believe we would need about 80 kilometers per hour. And I've seen the people that are racing this car more seriously. They may be closer up to 100 kilometers per hour. But for me in the start, I don't really need that very high speed. Most important is that the car is behaving good and that the electronics, motor and ESC and battery are not getting too hot when I'm driving. So I come back later. Bye bye.